This gun tech video has been brought to you in part by Main Irish Airsoft.
Yeah.
This is the fun bit.
I just have to remove a tooth from this as well, so you can add these two bits together. Piston and then this. That goes there. Last two teeth on sector gear. You can remove one, but I wouldn't go any further than 3. 1 or 2.
And that does what again? That speeds up.
It'll release the piston sooner, so that your rate of fire again is increased as well.
Cool.
Right, just stick some grease onto the gears before we stick all the shims and stuff back in. Now, I can't find my little bloody screwdriver. There's after robbing. Where's the bloody flathead gone? Oh. A little yellow one. There it is. You don't need much grease. Too much grease will slow everything down as well.
So we're putting in the spur gear now.
Spur gear first. Yeah. Remove the shims again. Stick a little bit of grease onto the shaft and in between each shim.
So a little bit of grease on the shaft. That's what she said.
Nice and slippy.
So you're applying a different grease now onto
the gears themselves. It's slightly heavier. The red grease is for bearings and it's a little bit more heat resistant.
So we're now adding the sector gear in.
That.
And as Chris said, we're putting the grease in between the shims as well. To like the royal we.
Reduce the friction, reduce the friction. Yeah, put that back in there.
That spring is for?
Tapper plate return spring.
Cool.
Trigger can go in last, and then like the fiddly little reverse latch. Now, put that in there.
And now we're going to put back in the bevel gear.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Pretty ahead with that. Pretty glad though.
What are you looking for?
I'm glad. Just lift the shims up. Come up.
Now we've been at this for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
With interruptions.
But how much longer do you think you're going to be?
It doesn't normally take this long. It's just that we are in the shop at the minute during working hours, so we're having to run off every now and again to check on other things. But that's everything in now, all back. Next in is trigger. Now, one thing to do is the little cut-off lever that's behind this has to be sitting sort of level when the gearbox is at neutral, and you know the gears will be at neutral when that shaft and that shaft are more or less lined up. This can be anyway sort of forward, but once those three are more or less lined up, the cam will be out of the way and your cut-off lever will be level, so that the single shot will work properly, should work properly, will work properly. Next then is spring. I'm going to stick with the original spring, and then I'll stick a little bit of grease into the piston. Again, you don't need much, just a little bit. That will all spread around when as soon as you start firing, so stay. That's everything back in, all in neutral, casing back on. So, screw it all back together and test it.
So do you have to put the gun all back together again?
No, I'm going to just put the pistol grip onto the bottom and then put the motor in and we can test it that way.